Well, welcome, and thank you for joining us here in online on the eve of the LA Auto Show. We have not one, but two great vehicles to share with you today. One from our Honda Powersports group, and the other a new addition to our award-winning Honda light truck lineup. At SEMA last month, we had some fun with the rugged open-air vehicle concept, combining elements of our Pioneer side-by-side and the Ridgeline pickup truck. But this is the first time we're debuting a new automobile and a new powersports vehicle on the same stage. And as it turns out, both of these vehicles you'll meet today share some common themes. To start, both are built for adventure. One that will take you to the trailhead, and the other that will take you practically anywhere else. Both also were designed and developed by our U.S. R&D teams here in Los Angeles and Ohio. And both will be manufactured in America. One at Honda of South Carolina Manufacturing, where we produce ATVs and all our side-by-side vehicles. And the other from Honda Manufacturing in Alabama, home to Pilot, Ridgeline, and Odyssey. So today we're showcasing some of the things that make us unique and enable us to say only Honda can do this. I'll be back in a minute, but to tell you more about one of these two adventure-oriented new Hondas, let me first introduce the Vice President of the Powersports Division of American Honda, Chuck Oderman, who will tell you what they have in store here today.
Good afternoon, everyone. So, life is better side by side. That's the name of the advertising campaign we're launching today, along with the new vehicle that we're all here to see. Well, what does that tagline mean? Our marketing people recently told me a story about two-time motocross champion Ken Roczen that I think captures the tagline concept. When we signed Kenny to Team Honda in 2017, one of his requests was a Pioneer 1000, which he keeps at his place near St. George. If you're one of the many people who follow Kenny on social media, you may have seen his Pioneer make the occasional cameo appearance. Earlier this year, our marketing folks went out riding dirt bikes into Utah with Kenny's family. And at one point, when our team was catching their breath from a very rough section of trail, Kenny's father-in-law, Greg Savage, mentioned that they often drive the same trail in their Pioneer. Some people look at it like we're crazy. Greg laughed. But the Pioneer makes it through everything and lets us share the experience with each other in a way that's only possible with a side-by-side. And to me, that perfectly sums up the appeal of these products. The fact that you're literally side-by-side. So in 2018, we released a utility-oriented Big Red. That was our first side-by-side. But in recent years, we focused exclusively on the multi-purpose category, the largest segment in the side-by-side business. We introduced the Pioneer 700 in 2014, followed by the Pioneer 500 a year later, and then the award-winning Pioneer 1000 in 2018. That gave us a complete multi-purpose lineup and a firm establishment in the category. The Pioneers have introduced new technology to the side-by-side market, including dual clutch transmission, quick flip seating, hill start assist, and four-wheel drive. So while multi-purpose is still the largest category, the sports side-by-side market is also showing significant growth. So our next chapter will enter the sport category. It's very important to our dealers and highly anticipated by our customers. The sports side-by-side scene is populated primarily by the 64-inch two-person class. Following a similar path to what we did in the multi-purpose market, Honda's multi-year plans will be to establish a strong sport presence with new technology. First, entering the 64-inch two-person class, and then growing from there. So development on this new vehicle was headed up by our Honda R&D branch in Ohio. And manufacturing will be handled by Honda of South Carolina, which has undergone a recent expansion to help meet the demand of our growing side-by-side and ATV lineup worldwide. Which just about brings us to the big moment. But first, let me add a small afterword to my story about Ken Roczen's father-in-law. At the end of that Utah dirt bike ride, Greg Savage pulled one of our marketing people aside and said, "You know how I was saying how fun it is to drive our Pioneer on that trail? Well, it would actually be even better and even more performance if you can add it." So you guys should make a sports side-by-side. I think he was on to something. Let's take a look.
Senior Product Planner, and more importantly, this is the new Honda Talon. So what do you guys think? Pretty awesome, right? So I'm so excited about this vehicle that I wasn't about to pass up the opportunity to drive it on stage for this world debut. And I'm not the only one who's excited. This day's been highly anticipated by a lot of people for quite a while now. A project as significant and important as this one could not have happened without a lot of help from a big team though. So first, I'd like to thank the other project leaders. We have from Honda R&D Los Angeles, Eric Dunshee. From Honda R&D Ohio, Jeremy McGuire and Candace Reed. From Honda South Carolina, manufacturing, Matt Joseph. So as Chuck explained, the sports side-by-side market is really healthy at the moment. And our research shows that a large percentage of those customers own or have owned other Honda power sports products, whether they be dirt bikes, sport bikes, ATVs, or multi-purpose side-by-side. These folks already have an emotional connection with our brand, and they have a connection through the talent, design, and styling. For example, the high body line and the wing logo will be familiar to any Honda Power Sports fans in this room. But the appeal of the Talon goes beyond emotion, as this vehicle brings new technology and performance to the sports side-by-side world. Like Kenny has said, we've leveraged Honda's automobile technologies to deliver what is a truly high-performance four-wheel off-road vehicle. For example, features like a dual-clutch transmission and precise handling echo a sports car or a supercar. While the large body box shocks and the long travel suspension are features familiar to anyone who follows off-road or trophy truck racing. The main difference being that the Talon is actually a tandem. Speaking of suspension, there are actually two Talon models. And while they share 85% of their parts and are both suitable for a broad spectrum of terrain and conditions, each has suspension and wheelbase specs that are focused to achieve specific driving characteristics. Is the Talon 1000 front and rear. And that's set up for exceptional high-speed tracking and large bump absorption. Precise handling are your priorities. The Talon 1000X delivers both, thanks to a 64-inch width and a suspension stroke of 14.6 and 15.1 inches front and rear respectively. Both Honda Talon models are powered by our awesome parallel twin-cylinder 991cc Unicam engine, which makes a ton of power and torque and produces a thrilling sound that you guys just got to hear a second ago. At least as importantly, it does an amazing job of delivering that power to the wheels and ultimately to the ground. That efficient transfer of power is thanks in part to the geared dual-clutch transmission. While many of you auto folks here know DCT well, Honda is still the only manufacturer to offer that technology in any power sports vehicle. And we do so in street bikes, adventure motorcycles, ATVs, and multi-purpose side-by-sides. Now high-performance DCT comes to the Talon. It's tuned specifically for the sports side-by-side application. This 6-speed transmission has 2 automatic modes, drive and sport, as well as full manual mode with steering column mount and paddle shifting. When our designers developed this vehicle's interior, one of their priorities was to create a passenger compartment that lets whoever's riding shotgun have as much fun as the driver. Be sure to stick around after we're finished here so that you can check out that and the Talon's other impressive features. Chuck mentioned our Life is Better side-by-side campaign, and that tagline could also apply to the working relationship between power sports and automotive. And on that note, let's bring Henio back up for some other big news from Honda.
Thanks, Dwayne, and congratulations. The Talon looks absolutely amazing. Now let's talk Honda trucks. It's no secret that SUVs are all the rage. And this year, Honda will hit a new all-time sales record of more than 750,000 light trucks. And we want to thank all of our SUV, minivan, and pickup customers for making that possible. Today, we're adding a new chapter to our light truck story. And ironically, the nameplate of our very first Honda SUV, the 1994 through 2002 Passport, returns as our newest SUV. The new Passport, which will launch early next year, attacks a segment where we don't currently compete. It's bigger, more rugged and powerful than CR-V, but more personal and sporty than the family-focused Pilot, with even better off-road performance. And while the market isn't short on options, we believe the new Passport delivers something unique, more off-road capable than soft-roaders in the segment, but with much better on-road dynamics than off-road centric vehicles in the class, while still delivering a high level of rugged terrain and all-weather capability. And I'm thrilled to be able to share it with all of you now. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the all-new 2019 Honda Passport.
Over here now. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Jay Joseph, and I have the pleasure of heading up our automobile product planning team at American Honda. As Henio said, this Passport fits right in between our CR-V and Pilot in our lineup, with packaging and performance a lot closer to the Pilot. However, the Passport customer will be a little bit younger and less likely to have kids than a Pilot buyer, with a higher household